New this morning, the military commander overseeing the Pentagon's escalating attacks on boats off Venezuela's coast, that he is retiring. This is barely a year into his time in that role. And one source tells CNN that tensions had been simmering for weeks between Admiral Alvin Halsey and Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, and that Hegseth did not believe the admiral was moving aggressively enough to take on and target alleged drug traffickers in the Caribbean. There have been at least 6 U.S. strikes on boats, alleged drug boats in the Caribbean. The latest one disclosed just yesterday. Some of the crew on board that boat are believed to have survived that strike. Also this week, President Trump confirmed that he is now authorizing the CIA to operate covertly inside of Venezuela, linked to all of this. But he did stop short of saying that the intent is regime change. Venezuela's president disagrees.
Hamas. Never before had any previous government, since the CIA has existed, publicly said that it was sending the CIA to kill, to overthrow, and to destroy countries.
Joining me right now is CNN senior military analyst, retired Admiral James Stavridis, former Supreme Allied Commander. It's great to see you, Admiral. In addition to being former NATO Supreme Allied Commander, you also spent years with U.S. Southern Command, years working on issues related to this region and Venezuela included specifically. On that admiral retiring, what do you make of it?
Very strange. Hard to come up with an analog. Closest I can come up with maybe 20 years ago, another admiral, Admiral Fox Fallon, stepped down from a role at U.S. Central Command because of disagreements with the administration about how to approach Iran. But extremely rare to see a combatant commander, particularly in the middle of military operations, walk away from the job. Kate, I'd say 3 things could be at play here. Number one, he may have personal medical issues, family issues. He doesn't want to share them, but now is the right time for him to step away. Number 2, we've seen Secretary Hegseth push out a lot of senior military leaders, including the former chairman of the Joint Chiefs, the former chief of naval operations. Perhaps he's been pushed out of the role, but in a less public way. And third and finally, the speculation I'm hearing is that he disagreed with the policy choices. And in that scenario, as a senior military officer, you essentially have the choice of executing the mission you're given or putting your stars on the table. Perhaps he did the latter. I don't know.
Yeah, but important and impactful nonetheless. This week also, Admiral, we learned that the president, as I mentioned just a moment ago, he authorized the CIA to conduct covert operations inside Venezuela. He also said that he's considering carrying out land operations on the country. Everyone seems to agree, and for good reason, cracking down on drug trafficking is a good thing. But what happens if he moves in, like he is suggesting?
Let's start with the forces that are on station right now. They are significant. There are 6 to 8 big warships down there, a couple of thousand Marines and sailors, dozens of those Tomahawk missiles that Vladimir Putin rightfully is quite worried about. And oh, by the way, a squadron or 2 of F-35 Lightnings, the 5th generation fighters based out of Puerto Rico. That's a lot of firepower, Kate. It's more than you need, frankly, to blow up drug boats. So he is clearly sending a signal to Maduro for him to speak publicly about the CIA being involved is, again, highly unusual. And I think ultimately the goal here is, in fact, regime change. Final thought, that may be a right policy, but boy, it's gone sideways for us in Latin America, going back to the Bay of Pigs and John F. Kennedy. I'd say flashing yellow light.
And I would say it's always good advice to take the advice of Admiral James Stavridis. It's very good to see you, Admiral. Thank you so much for coming in.